Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, a sixth grade student in Polk County, Florida, going to the Lawton Childs Middle Academy, was arrested after refusing to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, I should say before we get into this, all of this is preliminary. These are initial reports. Normally, I have my own little sneaky methods of getting to the root of the issue. In this case, the victim is a minor, and for once, everybody's doing what they're supposed to. Nobody's talking. So some of this may change as more information comes out about what happened. But at the end of the day, it appears he was charged with disrupting a school function and resisting arrest without violence. Okay. So, by public accounts of what we know, there's a substitute teacher at the school. He didn't stand. She asked him why. He told her that he felt the flag was racist or flag and national anthem were racist, something along those lines. From there, she asked him why he came there. We can only infer from the quotes that he was not born in the U.S. And he says, well, they brought me here. And she tells him he could always go back to wherever he came from. Something along those lines. Wow. So she eventually calls the school office. The school administrator shows up and asks him to leave 20 times, according to reports. Then the cops show and arrest him. Okay, so this is settled law. Students do not shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. Tinker versus Des Moines. This is already settled. He had a right to not stand for the pledge. It's protected. He doesn't have to. Now, Tinker Des Moines, what it says is basically as long as the protest is not causing a disruption, it is protected. Fair enough. But he was charged with disrupting the school function. The problem is it wasn't the protest that disrupted the function. Him sitting there did nothing. That doesn't stop the educational process at all. The teacher engaging in this conversation and then proceeding to attempt to coerce a pledge out of him, that's what disrupted the educational process. So anything beyond that point, he's defending his rights. He's defending his constitutionally protected rights. Maybe he did get loud. Maybe he didn't comply. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. You know, you want this kid to say a pledge to the Republic. Why? The Republic is showing no allegiance to him. There's nothing worse than this. You know, in simple contract law, and that's what a pledge is, if a contract is coerced or forced, it's meaningless. Indoctrinating kids creates nationalists, not patriots. And that's what we've run into here today, because when the administrator found out what had happened in that classroom, and when a teacher tells a student basically he could always go back, who really should have been asked to leave that classroom? The kid or the teacher? It's funny because the school board has now said that, well, she won't be working with him anymore. She won't be teaching in the district. They know she was wrong. They know it. This kid is still facing misdemeanor charges. And I know, it's a misdemeanor, big deal, he's a juvenile. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. His rights were violated by a government employee. That teacher worked for the government, was trying to coerce a pledge out of him. what it appears. Otherwise, I mean, what's the appropriate response? You're not going to stand up, oh, okay. Doesn't seem like what happened. The police department that arrested him was Lakeland PD. Now, again, the charges: disrupting a school function, defending his constitutionally protected rights, resisting arrest without violence, defending his constitutionally protected rights. These charges need to be dropped immediately. There's no sense in this. None. If there is not an outcry to defend this kid, what's there left to pledge allegiance to? Really? Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.